Hello, Namaskar. This is CVR English and it's time to roll the prime time bulletin with me, Anukriti Sharma. The CII India-Africa Business Conclave is a significant platform for fostering business relationships and exploring opportunities between India and Africa. It involves discussions on trade, investment and economic collaboration. The CII India-Africa Business Conclave is a significant platform for fostering these relationships and also exploring opportunities internationally. Vice President Dhankar's participation underscores the importance of the India-Africa partnership, and it also highlights India's commitment to enhancing economic ties with the other African countries. His presence at the conclave would likely involve addressing key issues, offering insights into India's strategic vision for Africa and engaging in greater business engagement. Here's a report. In Kerala's Thiruvananthapuram, the Mahila Congress organized a protest march to Director General of Police or the DGP office, demanding the resignation of Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. Now, this protest is focused on the lack of action being taken on the Hema Committee report. The Mahila Congress, the women's wing of the Indian National Congress, led the march to the DGP office to express their dissatisfaction with the state government's handling of the entire Hema Committee report. The protest aims to draw public and media attention to the issue, putting pressure on the government to act on the report's recommendations. Take a look.
ജയാദത്തൻ അടക്കമുള്ള നേതാക്കൾ, ജില്ലയുടെ നേതാക്കൾ, നമ്മൾ ഇന്നിവിടെ ഈ പ്രതിഷേധ സമരത്തിന്റെ ആവശ്യകത വനിതാ IPS ഓഫീസർ ഈ വിഷയം അന്വേഷിക്കണം എന്നുള്ളതാണ് മഹിളാ കോൺഗ്രസിന്റെ ആവശ്യം. അതിനോടനുബന്ധിച്ചാണ് ഇന്ന് ഈ സമരം നേതാക്കളുടെ നേതൃനിരയിൽ നിന്നുകൊണ്ട് അഡ്വക്കേറ്റ് ജിബി മേത്തർ നയിക്കുന്ന ഈ സമരം, സൂചനാ സമരം ഇവിടെ സംഘടിപ്പിച്ചത്. ഈ സൂചനാ സമരത്തിന് സ്വാഗതം ആശംസിക്കാനായി ഏറ്റവും പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട തിരുവനന്തപുരത്തിന്റെ അമരക്കാരി ഗായത്രി വി നായർ ക്ഷണിച്ചോളൂ.
ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഈ മാർച്ചിന്റെ അധ്യക്ഷ സംസ്ഥാന വൈസ് പ്രസിഡന്റ് ലക്ഷ്മി ആർ അനിൽ, ഉദ്ഘാടക കൂടിയായ നമ്മുടെ എല്ലാം പ്രിയങ്കരിയായ സംസ്ഥാന പ്രസിഡന്റ് ശ്രീ അഡ്വക്കേറ്റ് ജെബി മേത്ര MP, സംസ്ഥാന വൈസ് പ്രസിഡന്റ് ശ്രീമതി മിനിമോൾ, വാഹിദ, അതുപോലെ സംസ്ഥാന ജനറൽ സെക്രട്ടറിമാർ, ജില്ലാ ഭാരവാഹികൾ, ബ്ലോക്ക് പ്രസിഡന്റുമാർ, മണ്ഡലം പ്രസിഡന്റുമാർ അടക്കമുള്ള നമ്മുടെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ടവരെ, വളരെ ഞെട്ടലോടുകൂടിയാണ് 2-3 ദിവസം കൊണ്ടുള്ള വാർത്തകൾ നമ്മൾ സിനിമാ ലോകത്തെക്കുറിച്ച് കേട്ടുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. നമുക്കെല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയാം, എല്ലായിടവും സ്ത്രീ സുരക്ഷിതമായിട്ടിരിക്കണമെന്നാണ് മഹിളാ കോൺഗ്രസിന് ആഗ്രഹിക്കാനുള്ളത്. അതുമാത്രമല്ല, 4.5 വർഷം കൊണ്ട് ഈ ഒരു റിപ്പോർട്ട് എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് സംസ്ഥാന സർക്കാർ പൂഴ്ത്തി വച്ചിരിക്കുന്നതെന്ന് മഹിളാ കോൺഗ്രസിന് ചോദിക്കാനുണ്ട്. ഇതിന്റെ ഉദ്ഘാടന ചടങ്ങിനായി പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട സംസ്ഥാന അധ്യക്ഷ ശ്രീമതി അഡ്വക്കേറ്റ് ജെബി മേത്തറിനെ ക്ഷണിക്കുക.
മഹിളാ കോൺഗ്രസിന്റെ ഈ DGP ഓഫീസ് മാർച്ചിൽ പങ്കെടുത്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന മഹിളാ കോൺഗ്രസിന്റെ സംസ്ഥാന വൈസ് പ്രസിഡന്റുമാർ, ഇതിന് സ്വാഗതം ആശംസിച്ച ജില്ലാ പ്രസിഡന്റ് ഗായത്രി ഉൾപ്പെടെയുള്ള സംസ്ഥാന ജനറൽ സെക്രട്ടറിമാർ, തിളക്കമാർന്ന വെള്ളിത്തിരയിൽ നമ്മളെല്ലാവരും ആരാധനയോടെ കാണുന്ന ആ സിനിമാ ലോകം, ഇത്രയും സ്ത്രീ വിരുദ്ധമായ പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾ അവിടെ നടക്കുന്നു എന്നുള്ള ഒരു റിപ്പോർട്ട് സംസ്ഥാന സർക്കാരിന്, പിണറായി സർക്കാരിന് ലഭിച്ചിട്ട് 4 വർഷം അത് എന്ത് ചെയ്യുകയായിരുന്നു എന്നുള്ള ഏറ്റവും പ്രസക്തമായ ചോദ്യമാണ് ഇവിടെ ഉയരുന്നത്. ഞങ്ങൾ മുഖ്യമന്ത്രിയോട് കേരളത്തിലെ സ്ത്രീകൾക്കായി, ഓരോ സ്ത്രീകൾക്കായും സിനിമയിൽ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്നവരായാലും അല്ലെങ്കിലും സ്ത്രീ സുരക്ഷ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്ന മുഴുവൻ ജനങ്ങൾക്കും വേണ്ടി ഞങ്ങൾ ചോദിക്കാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുകയാണ്. ഈ റിപ്പോർട്ട് ഇത്രയും കാലം പൂഴ്ത്തിവെച്ചത് എന്തിനു വേണ്ടിയായിരുന്നു? രണ്ടാമത്തെ ചോദ്യം ഞങ്ങൾ മുഖ്യമന്ത്രിയോടായി ചോദിക്കുന്നത്, ഇന്നലെ മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി പത്രസമ്മേളനത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞത് ആരെങ്കിലും പരാതിയുമായി വരികയാണെങ്കിൽ അത് അന്വേഷിക്കാമെന്ന്. ഒരു കേരളത്തിന്റെ മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി ഇങ്ങനെയാണോ പ്രതികരിക്കേണ്ടത്? ഈ നടപടിയാണോ സ്വീകരിക്കേണ്ടത്? ആരെങ്കിലും ഒരു പരാതിയുമായി വന്നാൽ എന്ന ഒരു പ്രീ കണ്ടീഷൻ വെക്കുന്നത് വഴി മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി
The horrific rape and murder case in the RG Kar Medical College and Hospital is gaining momentum across the country. The Central Industrial Security Force, or the CISF, reached the RG Kar Medical College and Hospital. In fact, the protests are being held everywhere across the country, including New Delhi, regarding this matter. In view of which, the Supreme Court on August 20th directed the Central Industrial Security Force to provide security at RG Kar Medical College and Hospital in Kolkata. Take a look at this report. The Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, or the POJK, is facing significant socio-economic challenges right now. The persistent lack of development and the perceived indifference of successive governments have fostered a sense of alienation and frustration among its residents. Many lament that even basic amenities like safe drinking water are often out of reach. A local councillor from the region has underscored the deplorable state of infrastructure, another vital aspect of development. Take a look.
A councillor from the region has underscored the deplorable state of infrastructure, another vital aspect of development.
लेकिन आपने एक तरक्की की बात की, पीने का साफ पानी आपको भी पता है कितना। मैं कल मुझे तरकाबाद से फ़ोन आया, हमारे वहाँ से कौंसलर राजा ताहिर साहब, उनके मले से फ़ोन आया, उन्होंने कहा जहांगीर में 3 दिन से यहाँ पे पानी नहीं है, इतनी मुश्किलात है। उन्हें फ़ोन करके उनके कानों पे जू तक नहीं रेंगती, वो कहते हैं ठीक है जी आज कर देंगे, कल कर देंगे।
The lack of proper infrastructure not only disrupts daily life but also impedes economic activity as the transportation of goods and services is severely affected. The government's apparent lack of commitment to addressing these issues exacerbates the hardships faced by the people.
गवर्नमेंट्स आती है, शुरू में बड़ा जोर लगाती हैं, 1 साल के लिए 2 साल के लिए, फिर आगे से नई शुरू हो जाती है, गवर्नमेंट के लिए लॉबिंग शुरू हो जाती है, इलेक्शन की तैयारी हो जाती है, ये प्रोजेक्ट्स यहीं पे रहते हैं।
Residents have long accused the region administered by Islamabad through its proxies of systematic discrimination. They argue that despite claims of autonomous rule, the reality is far from it. Basic amenities which should be standard have become a luxury for many in this Pakistan-occupied region. The Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir is facing significant socio-economic challenges. The persistent lack of development and the perceived indifference of successive governments have fostered a sense of alienation and frustration among its residents. Many lament that even basic amenities like safe drinking water are often out of reach. A local councillor from the region has underscored the deplorable state of infrastructure, another vital aspect of development.
लेकिन आपने एक तरक्की की बात की, पीने का साफ पानी आपको भी पता है कितना।
BJP leader Zafar Islam accused Congress leader Rahul Gandhi of only knowing how to do politics and not standing by the people. This statement reflects the ongoing tensions and criticisms between the two parties clearly. The statements are common in political discourse. We understand that, where leaders from different parties often criticize each other's effectiveness and commitment towards their work. The criticism is aimed at undermining Gandhi's credibility and also highlighting the perceived shortcomings in his leadership or approach. Take a look at this report.
कदम उठाती है और दोषियों को दंडित करती है, और वैसे ही होगा यहाँ पर भी। लेकिन क्या राहुल गांधी जी कोलकाता जाएंगे? क्या राहुल गांधी जी वहां की जनता के साथ खड़े रहेंगे? क्या राहुल गांधी जी वो पीड़ित के पेरेंट्स से जाके मिलेंगे? क्या उसकी आवाज उठाएंगे? कांग्रेस पार्टी क्या आवाज उठाएगी? राहुल गांधी सिर्फ राजनीति करना जानते हैं, लेकिन जनता के साथ खड़े नहीं रहते। देखिए, ममता बनर्जी इतना निर्दयी हो जाएंगी। अब उन नाम तो ममता है, लेकिन ममता कुछ उनमें है नहीं। जिस तरह से इनसेंसिटिवनेस उन्होंने दिखाया है, जिस तरह से वहां के जो भी एविडेंस को मिटाने की कोशिश की गई है, जिस तरह से एफआईआर नहीं हो उसकी पेशकश की गई है, वो पूरे चीजों में समझ में आता है कि वेस्ट बंगाल की सरकार जो है पीड़ित के खिलाफ जो दोषी है उनके साथ खड़ी रही है। ऐसे में सुप्रीम कोर्ट की फटकार लगी है, जनता की फटकार लगी है, और पूरे देश में एक आक्रोश सा माहौल है वेस्ट बंगाल की मुख्यमंत्री के खिलाफ, इसलिए कि वो मुख्यमंत्री नहीं, गृह मंत्री भी हैं, हेल्थ मंत्री भी हैं। उसके बावजूद उन्होंने जिस तरह से काम करना चाहिए था नहीं किया, बल्कि दोषियों को बचाने का काम किया और पीड़ित के परिवार के साथ झूठ बोला, और उनको कहीं ना कहीं उनको इस चीज से दूर रखने की कोशिश की, और बार बार 10 लाख का नारा दिया कि ऐसे लगता है मानो जीवन को 10 लाख रुपए में खरीदना चाहती थी। लेकिन राहुल गांधी जी सिर्फ राजनीति करना जानते हैं।
A 9-day book fair has now begun on the lawns of Sher-e-Kashmir International Conference Centre on the banks of Dal Lake by the National Book Trust of India in collaboration with the District Administration of Srinagar. The Chinar Book Festival is being organised here on the lawns of Sher-e-Kashmir International Conference Centre on the banks of the lake. The festival began on August 17th and will continue till August 25th. Organised by the National Book Trust India, this is the first mega festival of its kind. The fair is being held from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day. Take a look.
पूरे देश में पुस्तक और पुस्तक संस्कृति यानी कि रीडिंग कल्चर को प्रमोट करने के लिए पिछले लगभग 67 सालों से काम कर रही है। हमारा प्रयास है कि श्रीनगर में डल लेक के किनारे इस भूमि पर जो ऋषि मुनियों की, लेखकों की, कवियों की भूमि रही है, हम अपनी युवा पीढ़ी को किताबों से रूबरू कराएं। किताबें एक ऐसा जरिया है जो आपकी सोच को, आपके ख्यालों को, आपकी ज़िंदगी की हसरतों को एक बड़ा विस्तार देती है। कहीं ना कहीं बच्चों को यहाँ केवल किताबें ही नहीं, कला, साहित्य और संस्कृति का भी एक संगम अगले 9 दिनों में देखने को मिलेगा। वो अपनी जो भारत की विविधताएं हैं, केवल कश्मीर की नहीं, भारत की विविधताओं को भी यहाँ देख पाएंगे। पूरा प्रयास हमारा यही है कि हमारी युवा पीढ़ी अपने देश को अलग अलग नज़रिए से देखे, अलग अलग नज़रिए से जाने और किताबों के माध्यम से खुद को सशक्तिकरण की ओर लेके जाएं।
In Kolkata, a significant protest was held at the CGO complex by the doctors in response to the horrific rape and murder incident at the RG Kar Medical College and Hospital. The protest was organized to express outrage over the tragic incident and to demand justice for the victim. The doctors, deeply affected by the case, gathered together to voice their concerns and to highlight the need for greater safety measures within medical institutions. They called for a thorough investigation into the incident and urged the authorities to ensure that those responsible should be held accountable. The protest also served as a platform for medical professionals to advocate for enhanced security protocols and support systems to protect their staff and patients from such violent acts in the future. The demonstration aimed to draw attention to the severity of the crime and to push for severe reforms that would prevent similar incidents in the future. Take a look at this report. Let's broaden our lens onto the international landscape now. Speaking of the US presidential campaign, during a recent address, President Joe Biden emphasized the fundamental role of family and the core values of freedom and democracy in American life. Speaking to a massive crowd, he declared, and I'm quoting him here, "Family is the beginning, middle, and the end. America, I love you." Let me ask you, are you ready to vote for freedom, democracy, and for America? Are you ready to elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz? Biden's remarks were aimed at rallying support for Vice President Kamala Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, who are the key figures in his administration's electoral strategy. He framed the upcoming election as a crucial moment for upholding American values and advancing the principles of democracy. His call to action was a direct appeal to voters to back candidates who, according to him, represent the best interests of the nation and embody the principles of freedom and democratic governance. And in her own first remarks at the Democratic National Convention that kicked off yesterday in Chicago, Vice President and Democratic nominee for the upcoming US presidential polls, Kamala Harris thanked President Joe Biden for his leadership to the nation. She thanked him for his historic leadership, his lifetime of service to the nation and for all that he would continue to do. Harris proclaimed that she would be forever grateful to Biden for his support. Take a look.
Your historic leadership, for your lifetime of service to our nation, and for all you will continue to do. We are forever grateful to you. Joe, thank you for your historic leadership, for your lifetime of service to our nation, and for all you will continue to do. We are forever grateful to you. Thank you, Joe. And looking out at everyone tonight, I see the beauty of our great nation. This November, we will come together and declare with one voice, as one people, we are moving forward. It is so good to be with everyone this evening in this hall and everyone at home. This is going to be a great week. And I want to kick us off by celebrating our incredible President Joe Biden, who will be speaking later tonight. Joe, thank you for your historic leadership, for your lifetime of service to our nation, and for all you will continue to do. We are forever grateful to you. Thank you, Joe. And looking out at everyone tonight, I see the beauty of our great nation. People from every corner of our country and every walk of life are here, united by our shared.
Coming back to India, to a horrific incident that has engulfed the entire country, unfortunately. It's a sad picture. It's like a recurring nightmare in India. A young woman raped in a mega city, a massive outpouring of anger, and a political blame game to boot. You've seen it before in New Delhi. You're seeing it again in Kolkata. A 31-year-old doctor was raped and murdered last week, that too at her medical college. The police have arrested one suspect. Multiple questions remain, like why wasn't the security better? Why aren't medical colleges better funded by our governments? And why does our society keep failing its women? To demand these answers, hundreds of thousands of women hit the streets 6 days ago. They protested well into the night. Such gatherings were seen in most major cities of India, in New Delhi, Mumbai and Kolkata, in Bangalore and in Hyderabad. As the Kolkata rape and murder incident continues to perplex the nation, Padma awardees Dr. Harsh Mahajan and Dr. A.K. Bhalla, along with 70 other Padma awardees, have written to Prime Minister Modi ji concerning over this matter. They have demanded Modi ji to show his personal interest in this horrific incident and asked for strict punishment for the culprits. They further requested separate laws for the protection of doctors and healthcare providers and officials. Dr. A.K. Bhalla spoke to the media, and I'm quoting him here, "We condemn this incident and we demand punishment against the perpetrators. We request Pradhan Mantri Modi ji to make laws for the security of doctors and healthcare professionals." Take a look at this.
For protection of doctors, healthcare professionals and healthcare institutions be brought in very quickly so that no one dares to even talk or do verbal abuse against healthcare professionals and healthcare workers, what to talk about physical abuse. I'm sure and have written.
Meanwhile, the protests continue in India. Doctors are holding candlelight vigils, women's groups are marching on the streets, and our politicians doing what they do best, turning a tragedy into a spectacle. We'll come to that in a bit, but first, the latest updates. The protests began after the horrific incident in Kolkata last week. A 31-year-old doctor was raped and murdered, that too at her medical college. Since then, doctors have been protesting across India. They're demanding justice and safety. Many days ago, that's the IMA or the Indian Medical Association, and now the IMA, let me tell you, has around 400,000 doctors across the country. So we are witnessing nationwide strikes right now. All non-essential services had been halted till last Sunday. And so far, the pressure is only mounting. It's only becoming relentless, both from the doctors and from the women's groups. They have been marching and protesting across major cities, and again, today is no different. Some of these protests did not go well. I told you yesterday about it. The goons vandalized the college where this crime happened in Kolkata. They attacked doctors. They destroyed the emergency room. The Kolkata police are hunting them down, and so far, 25 people have been arrested. And what about the murder investigation? Well, the CBI is handling that, the Central Bureau of Investigation, and they have many leads to follow. The victim's family says her colleagues may have been involved. Some interns and doctors at the college may have been involved. I'm sure the CBI will follow that up. In fact, they have already summoned 5 doctors for questioning. Which brings us to the politics of this matter. Few days ago, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee organized a march. She herself walked at the front of it. And what did she want? Death penalty by next Sunday. Basically only 1 week to probe, to prosecute and to convict. Now don't get us wrong, all of us want swift justice for that young woman. But let's not ignore the reality here. No court can deliver such quick justice, not even the fast-track courts. So this is not about getting justice for that woman, this is about getting political mileage. And the other side is doing it too. Whether it is spreading fake news about the incident or blaming people without evidence, such selfish moves do not help anyone. They only make a bad situation worse, and this is a very bad situation. Just think about it. A young doctor was raped and murdered inside a hospital. If a doctor is not safe inside a hospital, where are they safe? If a doctor is not safe inside a hospital, then who is safe? Look at this report. Around 75% of Indian doctors have faced some sort of violence at work. That's 3 out of 4 doctors. How can we prevent this? The central government has issued a new directive. It puts the onus on the hospital head. Now imagine that you run a government hospital in India. A doctor has been attacked on your watch. Then you must file an FIR within the 6 hours. The responsibility is not on the doctor who was attacked. It's not on the bystanders. The responsibility lies with the hospital head. And I must agree, it is a good move. Because right now, a lot of attacks go unreported. So this new directive should help, but it's not enough. You can't just focus on redressal here. You must focus on prevention too. And in the meantime, to quell all of this, the Union Health Ministry has assured a committee for doctors' security, and it is now urging the doctors to call off the strike. But let's keep the political developments aside for a moment. Let's focus on the bigger questions here. Take a look. Clearly, there are no two voices here. The doctors have found support from all sides. Just look at what happened in Kolkata a few days ago. Two warring football fans have joined hands, fans of Mohan Bagan and East Bengal. Both are clubs based in Kolkata and their fans have historically shared a tense rivalry. But on last Sunday, they came together. They stood in solidarity with the protesting doctors. Such pieces of news do send a strong message. The question is, how is the government responding? Well, the West Bengal government is not in charge of the probe anymore. I've already told you that. That's being done by the CBI, the Central Bureau of Investigation. But the state police have been busy. They are cracking down on social media posts. Around 198 people have gotten police summons so far. 198 people have been summoned. This includes 2 senior doctors in the state. They have been accused of spreading fake news online. I guess the cops are more concerned about optics. But one West Bengal lawmaker went a step ahead and he says, let me quote him here, "Doctors are striking for the sake of it, and that they've been going around with their boyfriends." Frankly, this was the only thing missing. We have seen a heinous crime. We've seen public outrage. What we hadn't seen was this, crass statements by our politicians. Well, now we have. The state government is pointing fingers at the CBI. They say that the investigation is too slow. Meanwhile, the opposition wants the chief minister to resign. As you know, West Bengal is ruled by the TMC party or the Trinamool Congress. The main opposition in that region is the BJP or the Bharatiya Janata Party. And the BJP says that the chief minister Mamata Banerjee must resign. So the politics is also unfolding at full speed. And what about the probe? Well, the victim's autopsy details are out. She had 16 external injuries and 9 internal ones. The case of death is manual strangulation and there is also evidence of a gang rape. Which brings us to the CBI probe. Right now, they seem to be focused on one person, Dr. Sandeep Ghosh, the former principal of the RG Kar Medical College, the college where the crime happened. He was the principal. Ghosh has been questioned for 3 consecutive days. On last Sunday, he was grilled for 13 hours straight. The CBI is also looking into his phone details. Who did he call before the incident and whom did he call afterwards? But why so much heat on the principal? Because his colleagues have dropped some exclusive and explosive claims about him. They say that he ran a mafia inside the college. Things like redirecting dead bodies or extorting money and failing students and even supplying liquor to the medics. Did this so-called mafia have something to do with the murder? The victim's colleagues say yes, they do. They claim sinister things were happening at this college and the victim knew too much. I know this sounds like a puzzle falling into place, but remember, all of this is unproven at the moment. The CBI is still probing these angles. Reports say that they will conduct a lie detector test very soon. On whom? The suspect in custody, the civic volunteer who's been accused of raping and killing the victim. Maybe that will give us more clarity. In the meantime, here's what we can do. Keep up the pressure on authorities. Not by sensationalizing or politicizing this incident, but by asking the right questions like, what security upgrades have been made since the murder? Why was there no on-call room at the hospital? Why was the victim working for 48 hours straight? Doesn't that signal a strain on her health front? And what about the long-term solutions? How do we ensure that hospitals are safe for doctors? No political party is asking these questions at the moment. They are more focused on demanding a death penalty in 1 week or asking the chief minister to resign. And don't get us wrong, please, we do need speedy justice. We also need accountability for this crime. But that alone will not be enough. We must ensure that such crimes do not happen again. If not, this outrage would have been for nothing. Take a look at this report.
कि सचमुच डर जाए. We were always known to be a very liberal city where women interests, women rights are being protected. We are really now in a state where we are like ashamed of. Some vested interests are waiting so that our enthusiasm, our participation, the intensity of the movement, dies down. Now it has come down to something which is beyond anger, beyond rage, beyond frustration, beyond everything, because we are now standing at a point where we have one bottom line, that we need all the criminals in front of us. We want to see their faces as aam janta.
मिलना चाहिए.
I am an actor. I am here as an actor. I am not here to be by a movement. No, I am part of the movement. And the best part of this movement that is that common men, common people are leading it. They are not going to leave this matter until they see the end of it. I assure you, this is not going to be another Sushant Singh Rajput, that it will go on and on and on and on and we will not see the end of it. No, this time that is not something that is going to happen, because we will see to it that all the criminals come in front of us. We need to see their faces. हमें देखना है उन लोगों को. And the punishment has to be very, very exemplary. इतना भयानक punishment होना चाहिए कि सचमुच डर जाए. जिनके मन में भी है, कि मन में तो है ना. In the roads, in the buses, in the trams, in metro.
We want justice now. I don't want to die getting raped.
I assure you, this is not going to be another Sushant Singh Rajput. I am an actor, but I'm not here as an actor. I am.
के खिलाफ हम सब इकट्ठा हैं, लेकिन सरकार को कुछ ठोस मजबूत कुछ करना चाहिए औरतों के लिए. जैसे निरापत्ता, सिक्योरिटी, सीसीटीवी इन एवरी हॉस्पिटल्स, छात्रों को सुविधा चाहिए और लड़की लोगों को रात को सुरक्षा. ये हमारे मेन मुद्दा है और अपराधी को सजा जरूर मिलना चाहिए.
हम लोग का डिमांड यही है कि जो दोषी है उसको जल्द से जल्द पकड़ा जाए और उसको सजा दी जाए. ये एक ऐसा.
सरकार के खिलाफ हम सब इकट्ठा हैं, लेकिन सरकार को कुछ ठोस मजबूत कुछ करना चाहिए औरतों के लिए. छात्रों को सुविधा चाहिए और लड़की लोगों को रात को सुरक्षा. जल्द से जल्द अपराधी को सजा मिलना चाहिए.
हम लोग का डिमांड यही है कि जो दोषी है उसको जल्द से जल्द पकड़ा जाए और उसको सजा दी जाए. प्रशासन को हम लोग को रिक्वेस्ट है कि जितना जल्दी हो सके दोषी को पकड़ा जाए.
काय पाहिजे? We want president. Justice for Ranjigod. Justice for Ranjigod.
Medical students, doctors, lawyers, advocates, cricketers, celebrities are all standing as one in solidarity, seeking and demanding justice for the victim. The nation wants justice. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings me to the wrap of this episode of Primetime Bulletin. This is Anukriti Sharma signing off for now. Namaskar, Jai Hind, keep watching CVR English.